Good evening. This is my Virtus Rifle .22, and basically I've had it since Sunday where the seal went on the bottle, so I had to wait 4 days to get a new seal from Amazon, and now she's up and running. So the last 2 days I've been basically doing some testing, done some chrono testing with different pellets, which I should be sorting out the results shortly. I've also been doing some shooting today from 35 yards. The weather's been awful outside, so I've been shooting off just that small bag on there off the windowsill down to my range down the bottom of the garden, which is 35 yards out. It's blowing a gale down there, so yeah, the actual accuracy wasn't brilliant. I haven't had a chance to fully zero the scope. I've got a 2.5 by 7 by 28 objective, small scope. So yeah, that seems pretty good actually. Seems to suit it. Not quite zeroed in with the pellet yet, but that's something I can do when the wind drops. Get out there on a 25 metre range and put the rifle on actual fixed shooting stand and try and see exactly how good the barrel is. Clean the barrel from new. I did notice with the pull through with 3 patches that actually it came through really quite easily, which gives me the impression that maybe the barrel tolerance isn't as tight as some .22 caliber barrels. So she might need a fair bit of leading in. But reliability so far, touch wood, has been working very well. They said I'd the occasional belt that wouldn't actually go through, but that was down to the fact that when you seat the pellet and you have to really push it down with a seating tool, you've got to make sure it doesn't protrude even a tiny little bit out of the other side of the belt, otherwise you won't allow you to pull the trigger. And I found that, and don't force it, you'll break something. Just take the magazine out. And with the Bisley Magnums, basically I seated them in, and then I basically use my finger just to press them back in backwards back into the belt a bit. So once they feed around the actual magazine themselves, once they actually cycle around there, then yeah, you shouldn't have any issues really. The Bisley shot well, but they wouldn't register on my FX radar because the FPS was so low. Because the FX radar chronograph is a bit weird, where you've got various different settings for different FPSs. Everything else, the actual RWS super hyperdomes, which are actually a zinc tin alloy pellet, 11 grain, they seem pretty consistent. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some H&N FTTs, shall we say, and you can get them in 5.53 head, which is a larger head, which may suit this barrel if the tolerance is slightly on the larger side of 2.2. Okay, so that's a little video. Yeah, I said it's a nice looking rifle. I really do like it. Even having to reset the trigger, obviously a pain. But the main thing is if the barrel's right and the regulator's right, then this thing should be accurate. Okay, and that's the key. So really, I've got to carry on testing and then find out if the regulator's not quite right. Maybe the answer is to take it back to Highland Outdoors and say, look, sort out the regulator, get the regulator work consistently. I've got rifles that are like the same price as this, UK. Like I said, there's the Artemis M16A. That's got a regulator, and I tell you what, it took me a long time to set it up. It took a lot of little tweaking with the regulator. You can adjust the regulator, but once it was set up, it was actually doing sub 10 foot spread, 10 feet per second spread pellets with jumbos, and that's really consistent, and it is accurate as well. Up to 50, we were shooting out to 50 meters at the range. So yeah, this has a lot of potential. I think Sig might have to sort out 1 or 2 things. I think if the barrel is not that good tolerance, maybe that needs tightening up and make it probably a little bit better quality. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, if Artemis and Snow Peak can produce a Chinese barrel that shoots a rifle and makes the pellets shoot straight, then I'm pretty sure Sig can. Okay. Also, like the regulator side of it, if a rifle is regulated, it's got to be doing like sub spread, 10 feet per second, 10 feet per second over say 12 shots. Over 30 shots, you should still be doing like 12 feet per second over 30 shots. You know, the idea of the whole point of having a regulator is it gives you a precise squirt of air, yeah, to send that pellet down the barrel. So if the regulator's not working right, or the barrel's not right, then you won't get the consistency. Simple as that. So I hope you like this little video. Thanks for watching.